Hey guys, I'm Amelia from Denver, and this is my crazy story. Please like and subscribe first. I was 6 years old when I moved to my aunt's house with my sister Olivia, who was 4 years older than me. Olivia and I, well, we had sort of a bittersweet relationship, more bitter than sweet. We just didn't get along. Olivia drew an imaginary line between us because she needed her space, but had no respect for mine. Like once when I was dreaming of Maroon 5, she woke me up to yell at me.
You're blaming blankets on my side of the bed? Move over!
Are you kidding me? And then there were times when she treated me like her servant.
Amelia, go get my charger. Bring me a glass of water.
Are you blind? Don't you have legs? Move your butt and get it yourself. Every time I'd answer her back, she'd look at me like I slapped her in the face, and then give me notes on how she was the best sister in the world.
I bought you a new bag from the dollar shop on 2012. I saved you from the bullies when you were in the 4th grade. When you were hungry as a bear on March 13th, 2014, I cooked noodles for you.
What in the world? Oh God, wait. You forgot you said good morning yesterday. So what now? Would I have to do laundry for you for a year? Man, you're weird. She was crazy, but she was also kind to me on rare occasions, like when she gave me her Netflix password. Even though I begged and pleaded for it for 4 years, she also gave me her phone when I asked her. Oh, she wasn't that generous. She did it because her boyfriend Cooper got her a new one. Even though we fought a lot, she was still always around. But after high school, Olivia started spending less and less time with me. She was busy partying with her friends. She would come home late almost every night. One time, it was very late, and Olivia hadn't returned home. My aunt and I were worried sick. Olivia, where were you? Why didn't you answer your phone?
Don't try to be my mother. Just mind your own business.
Ugh, I waited for you all night. Look, the sun is almost up. This isn't right.
So I should stop living my life just because you think partying all night isn't right? Gosh, you suffocate me. I am leaving.
She then began packing her stuff. She said she was going to stay with Cooper and that she needed to live her life the way she wanted to. Well, fine. If that's what she wanted to do with her life, so be it. Once Olivia was gone, I did miss her, but I channeled all my energy into studying. It paid off, because I graduated from high school with awesome grades. Now, I needed a job to pay for my college fees. I found a job in sales, and after months, I was finally able to move out of my aunt's place. One day when I returned home from work, I found a basket at my door with a baby, and right then, my phone rang.
Oh, you got it, Mandy, thank God.
Olivia, where are you? Wait, is this your baby?
Yeah. Amelia, look, I have to go to Europe with my new boyfriend. I'm so sorry, but you're gonna have to babysit her for just like 1 week. All the stuff you need is in the baby bag. And there's a diary too.
Wait, are you crazy? You haven't shown up in 2 years. How do you think I'm gonna... She hung up before I could finish. I reached into the bag, and just as I found the baby's dad's number, Mandy puked all over the diary. No! I thought of taking her to my aunt, but then I remembered she was away visiting her friends. Oh God, I can't do this. I was having a full-blown panic attack, and that's when I decided to go to the cops. Sir, my friend's sister left her baby at my friend's place and then ran away. What should my friend do with the baby?
It's not legal to keep a baby like this. She'll have to be sent to social services and they'll decide.
Social services? No! I couldn't send my niece there. And then I banged my head hard on the wall. As I stared at Mandy in horror, she began to cry and just got louder each second. Nothing was working. This was frustrating. My patience was running out. After multiple failed attempts, I finally found a solution. I did a silly dance for her that caught her attention. Finally, silence. But what happened next made me explode. Now who's gonna clean this up? Of course, me! I cried really loudly and cursed Olivia for doing this to me. Your mother is I don't know why I'm being punished. Well, the next thing that made me worried was work. I had no other option but to take her along with me. I made a stop at the grocery store near my work to buy baby food. As I reached the cashier, I struggled to juggle the bag and baby in my hands. Please, do you mind holding her for a while?
Me? Okay.
To make matters worse, I had to cut half of my purchases due to my credit limit, but as if luck was on my side.
Congratulations, ma'am. It's your lucky day. You're our 1,000th customer and you get a voucher worth $2,000.
What? What did you just say? Yes! Finally, something good happened to me. I took the bags and ran out of the shop, but then the stranger stopped me.
Hey, excuse me. Stop, please. Your baby.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. I forgot about her. I'm a bad aunt, ain't I?
Ooh, thank God you said aunt. I was wondering if I can.
Before he could finish, Mandy started crying, and I had to rush. Bummer. When I reached the office, I was surprised to see the stranger from the store there. It turned out he was our boss's son.
You work here? Oh, wow. I'm surprised that we have such pretty employees and the youngest ones.
I'm sorry to have brought her here, but I'm still looking for some place to drop her off. Adrian was amazing. The guy was always nice to me, and as we started working together, he always praised my work in front of everyone, which made me feel over the moon. I was falling hard for him, but I kept my feelings about him under wraps. He, on the other hand, was pretty clear about how he felt for me.
I must say, you look lovely today, Amelia. You are loaded with work. Let's take a coffee break. Amelia!
One day, we were preparing for a meeting when Adrian took my hand and told me how much he liked me. I can't say no to my boss. I like you too. Everything was turning out great for me. Olivia had told me she'd be back in a week, but it had been more than 3 weeks, and she was still a no-show. But luckily, Mandy and I were getting along just fine. It wasn't like she stopped spitting her food in my face, didn't cry, or stopped rolling on the floor. I just learned how to handle her better now. I even got her into a daycare when I was at work. Like all good things that don't last forever, this happy period of my life was also temporary. Mandy got sick, and I didn't know what to do. I called Adrian and asked if he could drop us off at the clinic. He drove up in his Mercedes-Benz and took us there. Thank God it wasn't anything serious. On our way back, I invited Adrian over for coffee at my place, but what he said next surprised me.
You live here? It's so tiny and untidy too.
As he walked around, he stepped on a toy and screamed, "Ouch!" He looked pissed and threw the toy against the wall. I was shocked at how he acted. I'm sorry the house is messy.
It's not your fault. I was thinking you could always give her up for adoption. She was your sister's mistake, not yours. Or have her come back and take care of her own kid.
He wasn't wrong, but I wasn't sure about his idea. Mandy was my niece after all, and I loved her. The next few days, Adrian kept bringing up the idea of sending Mandy to social services. Even though I tried to contact Olivia many times, her number was off. Just a week later, I was having an amazing sleep when someone jolted me awake. It was Adrian. What happened? Is Mandy all right?
Yeah, she must be. But, Amelia, you fell asleep during our presentation. What is going on with you? You need to pull yourself together and give the baby to someone. Her dad?
He was right. When my aunt came back from the trip, I went to her house and asked her if she knew about Cooper. She gave me his number, and when I contacted him, he was shocked to learn that he even had a baby.
Oh my God, she looks just like me, my carbon copy. I can't believe Olivia hid this from me.
He then told us how Olivia had left him for another guy, never telling him that she was pregnant. I felt really bad for him. I couldn't believe my sister would stoop so low. When Cooper took Mandy away, I realized how much I missed her. Those tiny hands and feet, that toothless smile. Gosh, I wanted to hug her just once more. I busied myself with work, and it went well with Adrian. He gave me expensive gifts and would take me out for dinner every day. One time while I was out with him, I mentioned how much I missed Mandy, and he just snapped.
Mandy. It's always Mandy for you all the time. I'm sorry. Look what I got you.
I need to go, please. As soon as I was out of the restaurant, I went to Cooper's place, and what I saw there had me laughing. Cooper had a pacifier around his neck, Mandy in his arm, milk powder in his hair, and a rattle in his other. I'm sorry, but I can't stop laughing.
It's okay. At least I made you laugh.
Let me try.
Oh, you made her sleep even faster.
As he cleaned up the mess, I helped him, and we felt exhausted and hungry by the end. We ordered online, and honest to God, the food was 100 times better than the fancy restaurant Adrian loved taking me to. Right then, my phone rang. Think of the devil! It was Adrian apologizing for snapping at me. He wanted to meet me again, but hearing Cooper's voice in the background, his mood changed.
You don't have time for me, and there you are with some other guy. Who is he?
I just couldn't handle his drama, so I hung up. Since I really liked spending time at Cooper's house, I went to visit Mandy and him almost every day. However, that it didn't sit too well with Adrian, 'cause I had to face him at work too. One time, he invited me on a date to a fancy gala, and I reluctantly accepted. I wanted to finish things with him, and that could be my chance. But once I reached the place, his face twisted the moment he saw me.
Oh God, why didn't you wear the dress I gave you? Come on, let's go. You need something proper for this gala. I can't be seen with someone who dresses like this.
What the heck? Fine. You won't be seen with me from now on. Wanna know why? 'Cause you are one snobby, arrogant, and annoying jerk.
Oh yeah? Great. You're making me the bad guy here who's cheating on me with Cooper. Admit that you like him.
His words hit me. I think I really had feelings for Cooper, and I was kinda cheating. Ha! You are crazy! We're done, Adrian. Goodbye. Saying that, I left, and on my way home, Cooper called, and I told him everything that Adrian had done. Since I didn't have a ride home, Cooper insisted on picking me up. He parked on the other side of the road, and when I turned toward him, my heel got stuck in the wet grass, and it broke. Seeing me struggle, Cooper rushed to me.
Oh, are you okay? Are you hurt? Oh God, you're soaking wet. Here, wear this.
Ha! Thanks! It's just this stupid, The next thing I know is that Cooper had me in his arms and carried me to his car. He delicately seated me. Oh my gosh, my heart was beating really fast, and I was sure he could hear it. I had never felt this calm and protected. Once we were at Cooper's place, I changed into dry clothes that belonged to him and snuggled next to Mandy. Can I crash here for the night, Cooper? I am too tired to go home now.
What? Yeah, I mean, you don't need to ask. It would be great if you could stay with us.
Really?
Yes, in fact, I'd love to have you forever.
Oh, wow! He really liked me. I did a happy dance inside my head, but I just nodded my head. A few days later, I resigned from my job and even changed my number, 'cause Adrienne was constantly calling me. In a few months, I moved in with Cooper and was living my best life. I loved Mandy so much, and being able to be with her brought me so much joy. Everything was going smoothly until one day Olivia returned, and seeing Cooper and me together, she looked shocked.
Olivia, what brought you here? Finally got time to worry about your daughter?
I was looking for Mandy, but I didn't find her at your place. And here you are.
Olivia,
Oh, cut it out, Amelia. How are you feeling after betraying your sister?
How could you say that to me? You left your kid, you cheated on your boyfriend, and ran off with your new fling and never told him about his child. I am not the one betraying anyone here. It's you.
Unbelievable.
With those words, Olivia left. And even though I wanted to say so much more to her, Cooper stopped me, saying it wasn't worth arguing with her. Time passed, and I didn't hear from Olivia again. Soon, Cooper and I got married, and we were living the perfect life. But deep down, I missed my sister. On Mandy's 5th birthday, I was at the store getting her a gift when I spotted an LOL doll. When I almost had it, someone else picked it up too. Hey, I needed that.
Oh, Amelia? It's you? Oh my god, it's been years. How are you? And is this for for Mandy?
Yeah, she loves it. Olivia then handed me the toy, and then Mandy called me from behind. Mama!
Oh my god, she's grown up really fast. Can I hug her?
Of course, you don't need to ask. You are her mother after all. Olivia then hugged Mandy and kissed her with all her strength.
Mama, is this Mommy?
Yes, honey, she is.
Oh god, she knows me.
Of course. I have always shown her your pictures.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amelia. You're the best sister in the whole world.
The end.
Hi, my name is Emma and I'm from Washington. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My parents abandoned me when I was just born. Thankfully, a wealthy man took me in from the street to be a servant in his mansion. I slept in a storage room. It wasn't bad, but I always wondered what the other private rooms were like. One day, when the owners were out, I sneaked into a luxurious bedroom. OMG, it's so bouncy and soft! I climbed onto the bed and jumped around playfully. Suddenly, someone appeared outside the door and shouted at me.
Ew, maid! What the heck are you doing in my room?
She is Amy, the boss's wife. At the same time, the boss also walked in.
Darcy, where did you find this rat?
Keep your cool, darling. Hey, kid, why are you here?
Oh, wait, let me check if she's stolen anything. Don't try to flee, maid.
No, I didn't do that, but can I take this bed to my room, or at least let me jump on it one last time?
Oh, what a mischievous girl.
When I turned to the Amy, she was glaring at me. Terrified, I ran out of the room. A few days later, I met the boss's daughter, Emily. She was introverted, so I took the initiative to befriend her. Despite our 4-year age difference, we became besties. In the next 2 years, Emily even insisted that her father send me to the elite school with her, and he agreed. On my first day at the new school, I was very anxious, but my classmates were very friendly, and we quickly became close. I excelled academically, scoring straight A's on tests, but poor things is, Emily kept getting F's. I tried to help Emily with her homework and realized that she struggled with understanding. I tried talking to Mrs. Amy to find a solution, but she thought everything I said was just made up.
Come on, darling. Our girl is only 8 and still has plenty of time to learn.
But ma'am, I think Emily is having some difficulties with her communication and—
Shut up! It's not your place to speak!
On Amy's birthday party, she announced in front of many people that Emily would recite a poem for her. But you can guess, Emily couldn't read and stood there trembling. All eyes were on her. I couldn't let her be in this situation any longer, so I stepped up to the stage, took the mic, and said loudly, "Well, she's just a bit nervous." So we read it together. Emily leaned close to me and whispered,
Thank you, Emma.
The boss realized his daughter was truly struggling. The next day, he took her for an evaluation, and the doctor diagnosed her with dyslexia. He arranged for a special tutor and asked me to help Emily. Years passed, and Emily gradually overcame her problems with our support. She even achieved excellent academic results and won numerous medals in various subjects. At Emily's 14th birthday party, while I was preparing food in the kitchen, she called me to join them.
Emma, you're not a maid, you're my sis. Let's enjoy the party.
She picked out a stunning dress and told me to wear it. Suddenly, Mr. Amy rushed over, snatched the dress from my hands, pulled Emily into a corner, and said something to her. Mr. Darcy tried to lift my mood by asking me to take pictures with Emily.
Come on, Emma, you've helped her so much.
But as I approached, Emily suddenly became agitated and pushed me away.
Dad, I'm tired. Can we stop this stupid party?
My boss was left speechless and she walked away, leaving us stunned. What? What's wrong with her? The next morning, when it was time to go to school, she told the driver to leave me behind, so I had to take the bus. When I bumped into her in the school hallway, I asked, "Emily, why are you acting so weird?"
Please, take your dirty hands off me, rat!
Wait, OMG, what did you just say? I was jaw-dropped. What was happening felt like such a nightmare.
Why are you so close with my dad?
Actually, I was also curious why the boss seemed to treat me better than the other servants. Emily, he often asked me to help you.
Call me Miss Emily, okay?
Well, Miss Emily, you really let me down. I swung my hand and accidentally slapped Emily, causing her to fall to the floor. I tried to pick her up, but she suddenly lunged at me and pulled my hair. We struggled on the ground while our classmates yelled in excitement. The fight only stopped when the teacher arrived, and we were both suspended for a week. I was so angry that I couldn't even look at her. The older her got, the more she seemed to resemble Mrs. Amy. Arrogant and harsh. On the next few days, Brian, her cousin, returned from France, and she was thrilled because she really got along with him. That night, while I was reading a book, Brian approached me.
You're smart and kind, right? I've heard how you've been helping Emily with her studies.
Oh, it's my pleasure to help Miss Emily.
Well, by the way, aside from studying, what else do you enjoy?
I love sing and dance.
Ah, we're on the same frequency.
We went to the studio and I started humming a song. He seemed to be completely immersed in every single melody. But I didn't expect that Mrs. Amy and Emily would catch us together. That night, Emily texted me, asking me to come to her room. When I opened the door, Emily threw a book straight at my face. It was the gift I had given her for her birthday last year.
Get this trash out of here and go away, rat! Why are you trying to take everything from me? Acting like a poor cat to make my dad take you home, and then trying to seduce my cousin!
Hey, stop suspecting that cat is sneaking carrots. I didn't take anything from you. She grabbed scissors and rushed toward me. Emily, you're psycho!
You better watch what you say! Underestimating me could be your last mistake!
Your anger has turned you to evil! I pushed her aside to escape from her room, feeling both scared and angry, wondering why she'd become so weird. The next day, Brian suggested to the boss that he wanted to take me to France with him so they could enroll me in a talent dance class. Oh my gosh, this was an amazing opportunity for me to pursue my dream. I jumped for joy.
Are you guys dreaming? Crazy! Your nephew will take my servant to nowhere. He's not allowed to do that.
But why?
No means no. The rat can't have a lavish dinner.
Brian clenched his teeth and left immediately. I cried in desperation. A dream life had appeared before my eyes, but it vanished like a nightmare. One day I will leave this house, escape from cruel Amy and her ungrateful daughter. That Christmas night, the snow was falling heavier. The next morning, when I woke up, I found a beautiful dress on my bed along with a note asking me to wear it for the family party. How family? Do I have a family? I flipped the note over and saw the boss's name. That evening, I ran into Emily, and we both stood jaw-dropping for several seconds. What?
Oh, how adorable. You two look like real twins. Do you guys like the dresses?
I put on a fake smile as Emily shot me a harsh glare.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen! An outfit won't turn a rat into a swan!
Immediately, she grabbed the fire extinguisher and sprayed it straight at me.
Emily, stop!
Something unexpected happened when Mrs. Amy snatched the extinguisher from Emily and yelled at her.
You lost your mind. You could hurt her.
You just lost control! Are you siding with her, Mom? I hate all of you!
Emily stormed off, and for the first time, Mrs. Amy was acting like that. A few days later, Emily went live, sobbing and fabricating an entirely false story.
Today, I'm going to expose a deceitful jerk who has ruined my family's happiness. Emma, the witch, has managed to enchant my dad, my cousin, and even my beloved mother. My dad made a huge mistake bringing that dirty servant into our home.
What the? I burst into her room, using all my strength to stop the live stream. Soon after, her parents also rushed into the room.
Emily, stop that. We didn't raise you to behave like this.
If you keep acting like this, we'll have no choice but to send you to reform school.
Mom, you said Emma is a vixen, and you were the one who came up with the plan to teach her a lesson, right?
Emily's words shocked both me and Darcy.
Oh, it seems like Emma is actually the most beloved person in this mansion. So here's no reason for me to stay here any longer.
Emily laughed like a maniac and walked away. What's happening?
Emma, please let me explain. You are my daughter. Years ago, I met and loved your mom, Lily, but both families opposed our marriage. Your grandparents arranged for me to marry Amy. Your mother couldn't accept the truth and hid you from me. By the time I found out, she had already passed away and you were placed in an orphanage. The reason I lied and called you a servant was to protect you from trouble. It was all my fault. Please forgive me.
That night was really like a roller coaster for me. Darcy even showed me the birth certificate and DNA test results to prove what he was saying.
Freak, oh, so you were lying to me. You married me because of family arrangements, and it turns out...
Mrs. Amy burst into tears as she charged at the boss, and chaos erupted as they started to fight and argue. I stood there like a statue while Emily walked over and laughed with delight. At school, Emily constantly tried to make my life miserable. She spread rumors that turned everyone against me, hung me out of a window, and put snakes in the bathroom. The torment didn't end. When the boss was away on business, she made me do all the household chores, prohibited me from studying, and scolded and berated me terribly. Of course, Darcy had no way to step in and stop what was happening. On the day the college results were announced, I was accepted into Harvest. It was finally time for me to escape this hell. But before I could celebrate, she and Emily burned the acceptance letter and other important documents, preventing me from starting school on time. My anger reached its peak. Why are you so freakish? What have I ever done to you? Emily has become so cruel because of a witch like you. You'll get your karma.
Jerk, get lost. You worthless piece of trash. You don't belong here. You should go back to the filthy place you came from and behave like your mother did.
I couldn't hold back any longer. Keep my mom's name out of your stupid mouth. I grabbed the nearby broom, ready to give them a beating. Suddenly, my dad grabbed a broom and said,
"Don't do that, Emma!" And both of you, stop bullying her.
I left in frustration, moved out of the house, and found a new place to stay. I took on part-time jobs to pay for my tuition. I thought my college years would pass like this. One day, after my shift ended, I saw Emily standing outside the door.
Emily? I'm so sorry.
She started to cry.
I know how good you was to me. You taught me, played with me, and protected me from bullies. But I was selfish, thinking you took all the attention from Dad, Brian, and Mom. I realize now that the life I have is something you deserve too. Can we become sisters again?
I understand, Emily. I'm not holding a grudge against you, but maybe I no longer have a chance to go back to that. I smiled warmly at her when suddenly I heard a familiar voice.
Emily said everything I wanted to tell. I used to resent you because your father cared too much about you. I know you're a kind and understanding. Go back to where you belong. Your dad misses you so much. Please, Emma.
Is this what you've been waiting for all this time, Mom? Hi, I'm Freya from Ohio. Please like and subscribe. I belong to a home that was filled with happiness and love. And my dad worked very hard to give us the best life. Once when I was 4, Dad spent an entire weekend building me a treehouse in our backyard.
This is your special place. You can always come up here and look at the beautiful sky.
Thank you, Daddy!
And when your sister grows a little taller, promise me that you'll share this treehouse with her and always be happy together.
I promise. My sister Iris was 2 years younger and I loved her to bits. I would dance for her and she would laugh like crazy and clap her little hands. When I turned 6, Mom bought us walkie-talkies, and we had so much fun hiding from our parents. The coast is all clear here. Over.
I see Mom's red hair. Over.
Okay, I'm climbing down. Over. As I climbed down from the treehouse, I saw my aunt and my cousin enter our yard. I ran to greet them, and so did Iris.
Freya and Iris, you've grown so big.
Our cousin Shirley was the same age as me, and stood very quietly, without even a smile on her face. Just then, I noticed that they had 2 big suitcases with them. Are you going on holiday, Aunt?
Yes, we're here for the holiday.
Just then, Dad came out and helped Aunt with our bags. Aunt and Dad were twins, and he cared about her deeply. I was happy to have them around until Mom took me aside and spoke to me.
Freya, you will move into Iris's room and share her bed.
But Iris's bed is so small, Mom.
I know, honey. It's just until your aunt finds a job and moves out.
How long will that be?
Just a few months.
But months turned into years, and I was 10 and still squeezing into Iris's bed. My aunt didn't find a job, and Dad had to let her stay since they only had each other. And slowly, Aunt and Shirley started to become a nuisance.
Yeah.
Once in 7th grade, Mom had planned a party for me and Iris for being top achievers at school. When Aunt suddenly said she felt really sick.
Maybe you should have the party on another day. I'm so unwell. Shirley must have caught it too. Look, she feels so warm. It's possible what we have is contagious.
But I've already bought all the food and invited the guests. I can't cancel everything just a day before the party.
Maybe you two could just stay in your room, Aunt.
Oh, so you want me and my daughter to stay in the rooms like we are outcasts? Did you hear what she said, brother? We aren't good enough for their party. They always make us feel like we're living on their charity.
What? She didn't mean it like that.
Aunt started coughing loudly and Dad took her to her room. When he returned, he asked us if we could cancel the party. But Dad, Iris, and I already invited all our friends.
My mom is sick and I think you should listen to your dad.
It does seem insensitive to have a party when she's unwell. We can have it another time, please.
It was so hard to say no to Dad, so we canceled it. And just then I caught sight of Shirley grinning as she walked away to her room. She and Aunt were such drama queens. And the worst part was that Shirley was in the same class as me. In 8th grade, I got selected to be the class president. And just as I was about to give my first presentation on all the changes I wanted to make, I stared at the projector in horror. Instead of my slideshow, it was a video of me singing and doing a stupid dance in front of my mirror at home.
That's your president trying to be Beyonce. Gosh, how stupid does she look?
Shirley, you're a wicked witch just like your mother!
She got up and pushed me against the chalkboard, and I took the duster and buffed her face white. Seconds later, everyone around us was laughing as we broke out into a full-scale catfight. But the teacher was not impressed by my behavior.
Freya, I'm taking away your position as class president until you learn to lead by example. Hitting someone's face with a duster is not leadership material.
But she pushed me!
And you called her mother a witch?
Later that afternoon, while I was doing my homework, Aunt came and sat next to me with her tea, and she poured it all over my books.
Hey, what are you doing? This will teach you to watch what you say about me. I'm a witch, huh?
I'm telling Dad about this!
Go ahead. I'll just say it was an accident. He will never believe you over me, his beloved sister.
And she was right. Dad didn't believe me.
Freya, I'm sick of you disrespecting your aunt. When your mother gets back from the store, we're having a family meeting.
But Mom had been gone for hours, and she wasn't even answering any calls. We were beginning to feel worried, but just then, a car drove up to the house, and Mom thanked a strange man as he dropped her off and drove away.
What happened?
My car's engine suddenly heated up and my phone was dead. Luckily, my boss was driving by, so he offered me a ride.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get your car towed and fixed.
I just couldn't help noticing the way that man looked at you.
What way? What are you trying to say?
Nothing, just saying.
My aunt was on a mission to stir up trouble between my parents. And later that evening, while Mom was in the bathroom, I found Aunt digging in Mom's bag. What are you doing?
Why don't you go up to your room and read a book, dear?
Not until you tell me what you're up to.
I'm looking for a painkiller for the headache you're giving me. Ah, there it is.
She took it and left, and I told Mom right away, but she checked her bag and said everything was in place. But just a few days later, it was Dad's birthday, and Mom bought him some new shoes.
Oh, I was expecting a Rolex watch.
Ha ha ha, really? Well, honey, that's quite an expensive gift.
But you used our credit card to buy it 2 days ago? I got a message on my phone?
What? No, I didn't.
Mom and Dad got into an argument on his birthday, and then Aunt came along to make things worse.
Oh, I think I know who your wife bought the watch for. It was for that same man who dropped you off last time. You know, her boss.
And how would you know that?
I'm my brother's sister, and I see everything that goes on around here. I won't let anyone betray him.
I've had enough of this nonsense. Who do you believe, me or her?
Dad believed Aunt. And that day, Mom packed her bags and took me and Iris with her. Mom rented out a small apartment, but things were not easy with Mom's small salary, and Dad only paid for our school fees. And soon after, things got even worse when Iris started to feel sick. When Mom took her to the doctor, we got the scariest news ever. Iris had a problem with her heart, and she needed a donor. Oh, Mom, why is this happening? I don't want anything to happen to Iris.
And nothing will. We have to stay positive, honey.
Iris had to stay at the hospital for a while. And one day, Dad came to visit with Aunt and Shirley. But when the adults weren't in the room, Shirley turned to Iris and said,
Now because of you, your dad might lose our house.
What are you saying?
Don't listen to her, Iris.
He's paying for your treatment, stupid. He can't afford the mortgage payments on the house. Thanks to you, we'll be homeless soon.
It was never your house to begin with. Get out of Iris's room now. Later that day, I started to do some research on heart donors, and I was surprised to find applications on a funding program called the Heart Foundation. I quickly applied, telling my story, and sent it with fingers crossed. When I told Iris about it the next day, it made her really happy.
Even though our family is no longer the same happy family, I'm so glad that I have you as my sister and best friend.
I hugged her and then turned on the music on her phone, and I started dancing for her like old times. And she laughed so much. Back at school, I struggled to keep my grades up because of everything that was going on. And one day, Shirley scored higher than me in math and couldn't stop rubbing it in my face.
Now that I'm the smarty pants of the family, I'm gonna tell my uncle to throw me a party. Don't worry, you're invited, as the waitress.
Suddenly, I felt so furious that I just screamed and charged her. But somehow I managed to stop myself at the last second. So I was shocked when Shirley suddenly fell to the floor like she'd fainted. Shirley?
Oh my God, what if you killed her?
What? I didn't even touch her.
No, I saw you.
Her friend ran off to call the principal. Shirley was rushed to the hospital, where she was just fine soon after. But I was suspended for 2 weeks. I was really angry, but my suspension meant I got to spend a little more time with Iris at the hospital.
I miss our treehouse. Me too. Let's go there.
You know we can't do that. We'll get in so much trouble.
Please, Freya. I'm so tired of being in the hospital.
My sister made her puppy dog eyes at me, so I put her on the wheelchair and told the nurses that I was taking her out for some fresh air. We sneaked right out of the hospital and got onto a bus that took us to Dad's house. No one seemed to be at home, so we headed straight to our tree house. Are you sure you can even climb up?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay, go really slow and I'm right behind you. Iris climbed up the ladder, but as soon as she was inside the treehouse, she let out a loud scream. I started climbing up frantically, but just then, I saw Shirley looking down at me, and next to her was a boy from school. Shirley, what are you doing here?
Bunking school and making out with my boyfriend. You and your sister are trespassing.
Shut up, this is our treehouse.
Oh yeah? We'll see about that.
She kicked the ladder and I lost my balance. But luckily, I caught a tree branch just in time.
Oh my God, Freya.
I turned to see Dad looking up at me, and next to him was Mom. Dad quickly put the ladder back and helped me climb down. What are you guys doing here?
The hospital told us you were missing. We figured you might be here.
I'm sorry, Mom.
It's not her fault. I made her bring me here because this is my happy place.
Iris cried, and we had a family hug until it was interrupted by Aunt.
What's going on here?
Shirley kicked the ladder down while Freya was on it.
What nonsense! My Shirley would never do that.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Shirley came down from the treehouse with the boy, and Aunt didn't look so happy.
Shirley!
I'm sorry.
Shirley looked down sadly, but I didn't buy her act one bit.
I'm so disappointed in you, Shirley. You really could have hurt Freya.
And if you're really sorry, tell everyone the truth about what happened in school.
You pushed me. That's what happened.
Yes, she did. And brother, why are you holding that woman's hand? Have you forgotten that other man she's with?
Dad immediately let go of Mom's hand, and she looked so sad. As Mom drove Iris back to the hospital, I had a brilliant idea. Mom, can I borrow your credit card?
Honey, I'm already owing a lot on my credit card.
No, I'm not buying anything. I just want to investigate something. I then asked her to drop me at the mall and went to the only jewelry store that sold Rolex watches. Excuse me, can you check my mom's credit card? I think she bought a Rolex watch here some time back. The store assistant checked the card, and the time of the purchase showed up. I requested to see the CCTV footage of that date and time, and it was exactly what I had expected. My aunt was the one using my mom's credit card. I made a copy of the video on my flash drive and left. I was on my way to Dad's office when I got a phone call that made me yell out with excitement. Iris's application for the donor heart was approved. My sister was going to get a new heart, and she would be completely okay. When I reached Dad's office, I showed him the video from the jewelry shop.
Oh my God! I don't know what to say. She's my only sister. Why would she do this to me?
You really broke our hearts when you believed your sister over us, Dad. Aunt broke our happy family and you let her? The next day, while Mom and I were in the hospital with Iris, Dad suddenly walked in with flowers.
I am so sorry. And I know my apology is not going to be enough right now, but I love you all very much, and I will do anything to have you back home.
Mom didn't forgive him immediately, but once she heard that he'd kicked out Aunt and Shirley for good, she was willing to give Dad a second chance. And slowly, our family became whole again. I learned a big lesson here. Always look for the truth, even if it hurts. A good leader is a truth seeker.
Hi there! My name is Augie, and I was just 3 years old when my mom left my dad. He was a major jerk, and she was so much happier without him. The only problem was that we were broke. My mom worked 2 jobs at once, but that wasn't enough for school, clothes, books, rent. The list was endless. I wanted to help my mom so badly that when I was 6, I tried to get a job at McDonald's. All the adults laughed at my application form. It was filled out with crayon. I was so mad. I wanted to be a grown-up. When Mom found out, she said,
Augie, the best way to help me is by doing well at school. You don't need to get a job. You're so cute.
From that day, I started paying really close attention at school. I worked hard at getting the best grades, and by the time I was 12, I was topping the district. That's how I got into the richest, snobbiest school in town. They found me and offered me a full scholarship if I transferred right away. I didn't want to leave my friends, but free school was too much to give up, so I started going to the rich side of town. Everything was different here. The roads were cleaner, the houses were bigger, and the people were meaner. The meanest of them all was Jack. His father owned the school, and he did whatever he liked. My first day, I saw him push a kid off his bike for no reason. Hey, stop that! I rushed to help the kid up and told Jack to back off.
You must be new. Do you have any idea who I am?
A massive jerk! The people watching laughed, and Jack turned beet red.
I'm your worst nightmare.
He meant it. He tried to bully me every single day for 4 years. He called me names, stole my books, and spread false rumors about me. One day, he pulled the fire alarm and told the teacher I did it. Obviously, they believed him over me. I got a whole week of detention. Didn't have time for this mess. I had to study hard all day. And now that I was older, I helped my mom by doing a job at night. We were so poor compared to everyone at school, and I did my best to hide it. I lied to everyone when they asked me what my parents do. They sell computers. They're super rich. I made sure I got the best clothes from the donation boxes in town and checked them for any imperfection. One time, I missed a tear on my coat, and Jack caught it right away.
Torn clothes? How pathetic. Are you too poor to afford basic things?
No one laughed with him. You see, other people in school really started to like me over the years. I was funny, friendly, and I didn't bully them. Jack hated this. To top it all off, I beat his grades every single time. The day the school was honoring its toppers, all hell broke loose.
Jack, this loser cannot win first place. He's a cheater.
Excuse me, I beat you fair and square. Jack ran over to me and tried to yank my medal off my neck.
Give it to me. Give it.
No! I shoved Jack away from me, and he fell back. Everyone laughed, and he began to yell loudly.
Ah, he hurt me. I sprained my leg.
He was good at putting on a show. The teachers dragged us to the principal's office, and I got the worst yelling of my life.
I want him out of this school, Dad.
Augie is our best student. We can't get rid of him.
How dare you hit my son?
Jack attacked me first.
So what? You should never hit back. You hurt him.
He's faking it. He just wants me to get into trouble.
You're both in trouble. 1 whole week of detention, and you both have to show the new students around the school.
Our school was huge, and new people had to have guides for their first week. I really didn't want to babysit with Jack, but I had no choice. We both met the new student the next day, and wow, she was stunning. She had the most beautiful brown eyes I've ever seen. The moment Jack saw her, he turned to me.
You can go. I can help her alone. I won't tell the teachers.
No way, you're a snake.
Look, that's Nancy. I've known her since we were kids, and her dad is even richer than mine. I want to date her, so just go away.
Obviously, I didn't go away. Instead, I raced up to Nancy first and gave her my best smile. I never really flirted with a girl before, but I gave it my best shot. Hi, I'm Augie. You're cute. Do you like tacos?
Yes, I love tacos.
Would you like to eat some with me after school?
Okay, why not? You're pretty cute too.
Jack literally jumped in between us.
Nancy, remember me? Jack, our dads are in the same country club.
Kind of.
Do you want to go with me tonight? I'll take you somewhere fancy.
Sorry, I'm getting tacos with Augie today.
His expression was priceless. That's what he gets for messing with me. Nancy and I went out, and I had a surprisingly good time. She was so goofy and hilarious. Some of her jokes made me choke with laughter. Wow, I'm actually having fun. I'm glad I messed with Jack.
What?
Oh, Jack has a crush on you, and he's been kind of a jerk to me, so I asked you out first.
What? I thought you thought I was cute.
Uh-oh, I do think you're cute, but...
But what? I'm just a pawn in your boy games. You just used me to mess with someone. You're a jerk.
She threw her taco at me and ran away. I quickly paid the taco guy and chased after her, but she was gone. Dang it! Jack was turning me into a terrible person. I tried to apologize to Nancy the next day, but she wouldn't even look at me. I almost gave up. Until one day when we ended up in the same elevator together. I acted on instinct. I pressed the stop button.
What are you doing?
I want to apologize, but you keep running away.
Don't bother. I'm never going to go out with you again.
I don't want you to go out with me. I'm just sorry. I acted like a complete idiot, and you have every right to hate me. She looked shocked.
Really? You mean that?
Yes, I'm really sorry I was so stupid.
Agreed. You'll have to buy me, like, 100 tacos to make up for it.
Does that mean we can be friends?
Yeah, okay, I forgive you.
Yes! All 100 tacos were worth it because Nancy was amazing. She was kind, funny, and most importantly, she was a really good friend. She was always there to help her friends with their troubles, and I felt like I could tell her almost anything. Almost. One day, Nancy asked me what my parents did for a living, and I felt real fear. If she finds out I'm poor, she won't like me. I lied quickly, hoping this would go away. But one day, Nancy wanted to walk me home, and I was trapped. I had to take her to a random mansion and pretend it was mine. I went inside and hid in the bushes till she went away. If that wasn't crazy enough, one night, she walked into the restaurant where I worked. The moment I saw her, I ducked and hid under a table. The manager called for me like 10 times, but I just couldn't make myself get out. Why was I going so crazy over this girl? Suddenly, 3 pairs of legs joined me under the table. My manager had seated women there. I immediately crawled out of the table, and all 3 women screamed, sending their food flying all over the floor. My manager caught me by the collar and fired me on the spot. If I wasn't horrified enough, I turned to see Nancy staring at me with her mouth open. Oh no, I just ran home. By the time Nancy confronted me in school, I had a lie ready for her. I got that job so I could learn some responsibility. It's not good to just live off my parents.
But why were you under the table?
I dropped my phone. I was looking for it. Somehow the lie worked, and Nancy gave me a big hug to comfort me. I was close. I was heading home from school that day when I felt someone pull me back. It was Jack!
Why were you hugging Nancy at school?
None of your business, moron!
Didn't I tell you I like her? You better back off before I make you pay.
Make me pay? Your dad can't kick me out of school. You have no power here. I stormed away from him with my head held high, thinking I had won this battle. I had no idea how far Jack would go for a shot at Nancy. She and I were having lunch in the cafeteria one day when Jack came over with his gang.
Hey, Augie, your parents are rich, right?
Yes, they sell computers.
Then why are you wearing clothes that I threw in the garbage?
I was in shock. Jack pulled out his phone and played a video for everyone. It was me searching for clothes in the donation bins.
We saw you hunting for clothes like a cheap beggar. We followed you, and you live in a tiny apartment on the bad side of town.
Everyone around me was whispering. I couldn't even bear to look up at Nancy. My secret was finally out.
So what do your parents really do? Do they even have a job, or are they pathetic like you?
I couldn't take it anymore. I got off my feet and punched Jack right in the face in front of everyone. I just lost it.
Ah, I'm reporting you to my dad. Everyone saw that, right? He punched me.
I was suspended for 2 weeks after that, which was just fine with me. Felt like my life was over. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to study. And I didn't want to see anyone. I turned my phone off so none of my friends could reach me. I was locked in my room for a whole week until one day, there was a knock on my door. Nancy was here. She saw me in my tiny apartment. I was wearing old, faded hand-me-downs. What are you doing here? How did you find me?
I can track people. Why didn't you answer my calls? I was worried.
Maybe I'm embarrassed and I want to be alone.
You shouldn't be embarrassed for being poor. You should be embarrassed for lying to me about it.
Oh, I should have told you the truth. That my mom's a waitress and a janitor. That my dad abandoned us and we live like beggars. Which part makes you want to go out with me? She looked shell-shocked.
Wait, you want to go out with me?
I never said that. Just leave me alone, Nancy. I went into my room and slammed the door shut. I wanted to be anyone else except me right now. It got so much worse when I opened Instagram and saw pictures of Jack and Nancy together. I guess she found someone who can take care of her the way she deserved. I was in the worst mood of my life when I started school again. Nancy tried to talk to me a few times, but I just ran away from her. I thought I could just avoid her forever. Until one day we ended up on the same elevator alone. She punched the stop button, and the elevator came to a halt.
How long are you going to ignore me, Augie? You are driving me crazy.
I don't want to talk to you about my lies. Don't want to hear about your dates with Jack.
We're not dating, you idiot. I only clicked those selfies because he literally begged me. I like you.
It took me a few seconds to get that. You like me?
Are you blind? I've liked you since the first day we met.
It doesn't matter. We can't be together. Nancy, I'm poorer than your gardeners. I have nothing to offer you.
You have everything to offer me. You're a good friend. You're an amazing son. You're clever and you're handsome.
I was speechless. Nancy grabbed my collar and gave me a full peck on the lips.
Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm from New Jersey. I was born to loving parents just 3 years after my older sister, Aurora. The whole family celebrated my birth, and Aurora and I were inseparable. She always had me glued to her, and we did everything together. But as I got older, our parents realized something was wrong with me. I couldn't hear them. I only reacted if they spoke really loudly or really close to me. They rushed me to the doctor, and we found out that I had a problem in my ears that made me nearly 70% deaf. A surgery would fix this issue, but I had to be much older to go through it safely. So I grew up deaf in a world full of sound. While Aurora enjoyed music, laughter, and went to school like everyone else, my parents decided to homeschool me with an army of special tutors.
There's schools for kids just like her?
Yes, but she's our special girl, and we want to give her all our attention.
Aurora had a life I dreamed of every day. She got to have heaps of friends while I was too scared to talk to the kids in my neighborhood. I once got jealous watching Aurora dance to music. My parents went out of their way to make me feel better. They bragged about me all the time.
Scarlett is beautiful, and she's a genius. She did her speech therapy in record time.
Mom, I topped my entire grade. Look at my report card.
That's nice, dear. Scarlett can lip read too, you know. Show them. It's such a fun game.
I got ready to show off my skills, but Aurora suddenly got up, threw her report card on the table, and ran into her room. What was the matter with her? I was too wrapped up in my life to understand it. But Aurora started having little meltdowns all the time. She hated that my parents always let me choose our vacation spots, choose where to eat, and bought me anything I pointed at. When Aurora asked for the same things, my parents just told her to share mine.
That's not fair. Why can't I have what she has?
We can share. I have like 100 clothes.
I'm talking to Mom.
I didn't want Aurora to hate me, so I sent her some pretty dresses as a gift. She sent them back to me, all cut up in pieces. Are you kidding me? When I reached the 7th grade, I was finally ready to get my surgery, and all my parents could do was worry about it. Even I was a little scared, but Aurora couldn't care less. She was a school topper and a cheerleader now. She was also best friends with the richest girl in town, Kat. Her dad was so powerful, he employed half the adults here. Aurora spent all her time lounging in Kat's huge pool house. Even though Kat was the worst, she was super mean and controlling. She even gave her friends strict guidelines on how to dress. One time, Aurora wore the wrong shoes with an evening dress, and her friends ditched her. Kat is a moron. You shouldn't be friends with her.
Mind your own business, turd.
I still hoped that Aurora and I would be normal sisters after my surgery. But the day I went to the hospital, she didn't even show up. I went into the hospital with my heart burning with anger. If Aurora didn't care about me, then I didn't care about her anymore. When I woke up from surgery, I couldn't stop weeping. My parents' voices, the doctor's voices, and my own voice. Everything was setting me off. It took time and effort, but with my parents' support and therapy, I slowly got used to living in a sea of sound. On my first day of joining regular school, my heart was hammering. I'd literally taken my first few steps into the hallway when I saw the most beautiful girl in the entire world just casually standing by the lockers. She was looking right at me, and her mouth was moving. I read her lips without even trying. Did you just say I'm pretty?
What? How did you hear that?
I have good ears. I'm Scarlett.
I'm Marina.
I shook her hand, and my heart wanted to dance. She was actually gonna be in my classes. School was exciting. It was a little weird making friends when I could still lip read. I was only 40% accurate, but that was enough to accidentally see some awkward things. I just pretended I knew nothing. But one day I saw 2 of our teachers talking, and I couldn't help but stare. They were talking about giving us a surprise test tomorrow. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I just prepared alone, right? So I told everyone in my class what was going to happen. Marina looked really surprised.
But how did you know?
I can lip read, just a little bit. I used to be deaf.
Wow, really?
A literal crowd jumped on me all of a sudden. People had a million questions about my life. Everyone wanted to play the lip reading game. They would mouth dumb things at me, and I had to guess. Banana olive juice? No, I love you. Aw, you're just saying. La 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 la. The whole class was rolling in laughter. I had no idea I was so fun. By the end of the day, I got invited to 3 different sleepovers. I was really enjoying my new popularity. Until one day when I learned a secret I couldn't forget. Aurora was hanging out with Kat and a gang of cheerleaders, and I saw them mouthing the words spray paint and plan. That made me curious, so I sneaked closer to them to hear what they were saying. Kat was planning to vandalize the school building this weekend, and she was making her friends help her. When I reached home, I went into Aurora's room to talk to her alone. I know what Kat is planning to do this weekend.
You little sneak! How did you know? Did you lip read us?
It doesn't matter. You can't go spray painting buildings with her. She's gonna get you in trouble.
Mind your own business.
Why do you let that jerk push you around?
That jerk's dad is literally our dad's boss. She's really powerful.
So let her get in trouble alone. She refused to listen to me. I didn't know what to do. But I couldn't let her get mixed up with that awful girl anymore. So I told my parents what she was about to do. Her bully of a friend is gonna make her vandalize the school. My parents were furious at Aurora. They yelled at her and then grounded her for the next 2 weeks.
You told on me. Isn't it enough that you're our parents' favorite? You just had to do this.
Aurora, if you get caught, you could get suspended or even expelled.
As if you care about what happens to me. Stay out of my life.
Aurora shut me out hard. After that, she ignored me at home and in school. That Monday, the principal announced that Kat and her group had been caught ruining school property, and they all got suspended. I thought that would soften Aurora's temper, but she still didn't want to talk to me. I couldn't stay upset about it for too long, because one day, I opened my lockers to see flowers and a note inside. It was from Marina.
Too shy to say it in person, but ever since we met, I can't stop thinking about you. Want to go out with me?
I was so happy I was gonna faint. A real-life fairy just asked me out. I texted her yes and literally floated on air for days. I was so nervous on my first ever date that my hands were shaking. I even spilled a soda all over us. But that was the moment she chose to surprise me and kissed me. She was just perfect. Marina was funny, clever, and even my parents loved her. Our relationship was pure and blissful until we reached the 9th grade, and she finally introduced me to her mom. That was instant hate. Her mom didn't want her dating a girl, and it showed. She asked Marina to dump me, and when she didn't, she started ignoring her. She bought her siblings presents and took them to dinners. But she purposefully left Marina out. I hated to see Marina upset, and I foolishly thought if her mom got to know me, she'd like me. So, for Marina's birthday, I set up a family picnic in the park as a surprise. But Marina's mom spent the whole time bragging about her siblings.
My son has a new job, and my eldest daughter is going to college with a scholarship. I'm so proud of you both.
Mom, I won an art contest last month.
Art contest? Ha ha! Sounds lame. Your sister won a science scholarship.
Bitter tears filled Marina's eyes, and she stormed off in a huff. She worked hard on that contest, and you called it lame just to hurt her. You're insane. I went after Marina and saw her weeping, and suddenly it reminded me of Aurora getting ignored by our parents. Unlike Marina's mom, my parents didn't give me more attention to hurt Aurora. But the end result looked exactly the same. My parents were wrong for how they treated Aurora. I was just too mad at her for not being there for me, and I couldn't see it until now. Aurora still avoided me at home and at school, but it finally made sense to me, and we didn't speak again until the evening of the spring dance. Marina and I wore the prettiest dresses and were so excited to go to our first dance together. But we'd only been there for an hour when Marina's mom showed up.
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to see all the handsome boys you rejected to date this rude girl. That one. Oh, that one.
Mom, stop it. You can't be here.
You can't date this girl. She called your own mother insane.
That's because you are insane.
People were staring at us, and someone even turned the music down.
My daughter never spoke to me this way before you came along. I hate you.
Her mom picked up the bowl of punch, and she was gonna throw it at me. I prepared myself for the splash, but suddenly, Aurora flew in between us and pushed her away. Marina's mom went flying back right into a table of food. The entire hall watched her in pin-drop silence before exploding into whispers and laughter.
Call the principal. His students attacked me. They're crazy.
The teachers were furious at Aurora for pushing her and disrupting the dance. They gave her 6 weeks of detention and called our parents to pick us up. When we got home, they tried to yell at Aurora, but I stopped them. Marina's mom deserves everything she got. You should be proud of Aurora for standing up for me.
She stood up for you this one time. Before this, she was planning to vandalize buildings. And before that, she was constantly fighting with you.
That's you. Your fault, not hers. Yeah, you heard me. You were so eager to make me feel good, you ignored Aurora since we were kids. That's why she hated me.
We may have given you more attention, but we loved you both equally.
No way. You acted like I didn't even matter. Nothing I ever did was good enough for your praise, while you wrote actual songs about Scarlet.
Aurora, you were healthy. Topping your classes, cheerleading, making friends. You didn't need us as much as she did.
That's not true. I was upset. Making friends with bullies and getting into trouble. I would be suspended or expelled if it weren't for Scarlet. I'm a mess. If you loved me as much as you loved Scarlet, you would have seen that.
Aurora burst into tears while my parents looked stunned.
We did take your achievements for granted. And yes, we were more worried about your sister. But we love you both the same.
Then why don't you act like it?
We didn't want Scarlet to be jealous of your life. We worried about her getting hurt in a million ways, but that's not an excuse. If we let you think for even a second that we didn't love you, then we really messed up. I'm so sorry, Aurora.
We love you both more than our own lives. We're sorry we haven't shown it. We'll do better from now on.
Aurora grabbed my parents in a hug, and I wiped my tears off and joined them too. Hi, I'm Elena from Milan, Natalya. Please like and subscribe. I grew up without a dad, but I had a rich mom who owned an international fashion brand. Well, that's also why my parents decided to get divorced, because he couldn't cope with her over-ambitious nature. But to be honest, I'm not that close with my mom. She doesn't have much time for me, and I usually see her once a month after her overseas trips, when she brings me a gazillion toys. I guess that was her way of making up for the absence, but I wasn't complaining. I spend a lot of time chatting with my stuffed penguin and acting out scenes from the stories I watch on the Luna avatar. But as I grew up, I started noticing how absent my mom was from my life. She rarely took me to school, and of course she'd miss important events there all the time. When I was in 5th grade, I was chosen to play Juliet because of my acting skills. I went home and proudly told my mom, "Mom, you have to be there that day!"
All right, sweetie, I promise.
Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. But by the time she reached school, the play was over.
I'm sorry, honey, I got stuck with something important.
I know, Mom, I can never be as important to you as your work.
Sweetheart, I'm doing this for you. One day this company will be yours.
I don't want to work for your stupid company. Mom, you see, my dream is to become an actress. My drama teacher says I have talent and could become as famous as Margot Robbie someday.
OMG, you're delusional. I'll talk to your teacher about putting such silly ideas into your head. Acting is for losers who've got nothing better to do.
You know, nothing happened because my mom was too busy with her fashion shows and had no time to argue anymore. But the acting bug in me never died. I joined the school's drama club and participated in all kinds of plays. Of course, Mom had no clue about it. Once, when I was 17, I was at the mall and noticed a girl who seemed to be following me. She trailed me from the hair salon to the ice cream shop, always giving me a glare. Thought something was fishy, so I cornered her when I got the chance. What's your problem? Did I do something wrong to you? Or if you want an autograph, just say so.
You're such a witch! Stop flirting with my crush!
She lunged at the girl standing next to me, and I felt more embarrassed than the statue of David.
First, he's not your boyfriend, and second, he's already agreed to go out with me.
Grr, if a moron like you hadn't shown up, I would have had a happy relationship.
Hey, don't be so harsh, girl. After helping deal with the stalker, the girl treated me to pizza.
My name's Daisy. Thanks for your help.
Daisy told me about the relationship problem she was facing. She wanted to dump her boyfriend Leo because she'd fallen in love with her new neighbor. New neighbor? Is that the stalker's crush?
Yep.
Your love life is such a mess.
So do you have a BF?
Yes, of course. He's named Jackie. When we first met, it was raining, and he offered me his jacket, and since then I've called him Jackie E. I excitedly told Daisy about the boyfriend in my dreams. Well, by the way, I have a way to help you solve your problem. Pick up the phone and invite your Leo to dinner. Leo was supposed to take Daisy out on a date at a restaurant. Moments after they were seated, I catwalked in with a massive curly wig and the ugliest glasses. The love of my life! The apple pull up my eyes! You said you loved my thick curly hair. Then what are you doing with this witch with a boring ponytail?
Who are you? Do we know each other?
Oh, don't be so cruel, my coochie CUO. I know I've put on 25 ounces, but I promised to put in the extra hours at the gym.
Stop it. Daisy, believe me, I've never met this girl before. She's lying.
Please don't dump me. I can accept you having 2 girlfriends, or I can switch to a ponytail. I'm willing to die for you, my precious, but don't call me liar. I know your favorite color is blue. You love dumplings. You still watch Popeye, and you fart when you sneeze. Daisy simply shook her head.
That doesn't prove anything.
I can't believe you've been cheating on me with this thing. I'm done with you.
With that, Daisy marched off before Leo could make sense of what had just happened. I quietly snuck out too. The next day at school, Daisy and I couldn't stop laughing about the whole thing. You're a liar! Don't call me liar.
Thanks. Your acting skills were so sick that Leo didn't try to contact me again. Now I have time to date my new neighbor at home.
On the other side, things were going from bad to worse between Mom and me. She wanted me to focus on studies, but my heart was in theater. I wanted to join an acting school in New York, but she just wouldn't let me. One morning after a heated argument with Mom, I was rushing to my class when I bumped into something rock solid. What the rock? You got buttons for eyes? I looked up and saw Leo.
Oh, I just transferred to this school because I find it hard to stay away from my girlfriend.
Daisy, huh? I thought you two had broken up?
No, I mean, wasn't I your coochie COO just a few days ago? Actually, you did me a favor too. I knew Daisy was going around with another guy while we were dating.
What? And you still dated her? Are you in that case?
Well, I was about to confront her that day, but you, my savior, made things easier. You put up a nice act, by the way.
He gave me a lopsided smile, and for some reason it made my heart flutter. He knew it was me. Leo was actually pretty cute. Then suddenly he was touching my long, silky hair.
Your hair is gorgeous! It's a shame you hid it behind that ugly wig that day!
I blushed and ran straight into the classroom. It felt completely different from the romantic scenes I had acted in. In the following days, I felt like Leo was intentionally bumping into me. I kept running into him in the auditorium, near the lockers, cafeteria, and restroom. Heck, he even agreed to play the role of a rock in the play I was participating in. Of course, that rock never spoke to me once. One day, as I was coming out of the library, I spotted him standing outside, whistling to himself. I felt extremely annoyed by that manner.
Are you stalking me? Let's talk, stupid rock!
I could say the same. You were the one falling all over me a few days back.
I angrily walked towards him to give him a piece of my mind, but I slipped on something and landed straight into his arms.
Oh, did you just fall? For me, again?
Before I could respond, he helped me get back on my feet and then gently pulled off the scrunchie I was wearing.
Your hair looks better this way. Free.
Then he simply turned around and left, leaving me stunned.
Oh, stop, Elena! You'll burn a hole in his shirt if you keep staring like that.
Whoa, you scared me, Daisy!
Wow, you really like him. Oh, sorry, you're still in character, aren't you?
What nonsense! He's not my type!
I would have never dumped him if you looked at me the way he was looking at you.
A week later, we had to go to the supermarket to perform our play, and I got my period on the bus. As I was getting off, Leo pulled me aside and wrapped his jacket around my waist. I rushed to the restroom and changed, and when I came out, I found him waiting outside. Even during the entire performance, he kept his gaze on me. Well, Daisy, it seems like I might be falling for Leo a little.
Yes, I knew it, and I know he feels the same about you. Let's ask him out this weekend.
This weekend's my mom's birthday. That weekend, Mom threw a grand party and invited her friends and business partners. It was such a boring party because everyone was being so fussy. But I had to for Mom's sake. As I sat in a corner sipping my juice, I heard a familiar voice.
Hey, actress! I thought there was nothing cool at a party like this.
But why are you here?
I'm here with my dad, and you?
This is my house. Then we chatted by the pool under the moonlight. Leo was smart and witty, and at one point I was about to ask him out when I noticed Mom gesturing to me to meet her outside.
Oh, my Elena, you look gorgeous, in the dress from my newest collection.
Cut the drama. Get to the point, Mom.
Leo is your friend, right? His dad owns a big retail chain. If we get a chance to collaborate, our company could really grow. You know what to do. Seduce him.
I almost told her that I was going to, but then I had an idea. Your company, not our company, and I don't like him.
Please, Elena, think about the business, and I want to see our products.
Okay, but then you'll allow me to apply to that acting school. Yeah, it's like catching two rabbits with one carrot. I can date Leo and pursue my dreams at the same time. The next day, Leo and I started dating. It was pure bliss. He was even better than I had imagined.
You called me a rock? Well, my heart is becoming like a rock because of your beauty.
You're so cheesy, but I like it.
Then on my birthday, Leo planned a surprise party for me and invited the entire school. Leo showed up with a huge present. Oh, darling, it's so huge! Let me guess. It's a vase, a stuffed bear, or maybe a guinea pig.
Open it, you'll be surprised.
What? Inside the gift box was just an envelope. I carefully unfolded it. My face turned white when I saw the papers it contained. It was the contract that said his dad's company will be my mom's company's buyer. What the heck?
We performed really well, didn't we, Elena? The goal has been achieved, so we can drop the actress act now.
Leo, I don't understand.
Okay, let me explain, friends. Elena was dating me so she could use me to get my mom to promote her mom's business. I just made her wish come true. That's not true. You know what? I've had enough of your lies. I'm breaking up with you, Elena. Think of this as a parting gift.
Leo left, leaving me completely humiliated. I had to pretend nothing happened to keep everyone from laughing at me. On the way home, I cried as I walked. I had always been confident in my acting skills, but it turned out I was just a fool in my own love scenario. When I got home, I threw the envelope straight at my mom's face.
Hey!
We've achieved our plan. Why don't we throw a party tomorrow? My mom opened the envelope and was thrilled.
Okay, sweetie, time for celebration. Besides Leo, is there anyone else you'd like to invite?
Do whatever you want. We broke up, and tonight I'm going to New York. The acting school accepted my application.
Please don't go, I'll talk to him.
You'll do no such thing! This is the first time I'm leaving home for a foreign city. Not only does it help me forget everything, but it also brings me closer to my dream university. In a few years, my hard work paid off, and I became a popular actress. I even landed the lead role in an upcoming Marvel film. Then one day, I got a call from Mom's doctor who told me her health was deteriorating fast. I rushed back home immediately and found Mom in bed, looking so frail that it shook me.
Mom, why did you say you were okay?
I didn't want to bother you, just like how you didn't bother me before. I always thought you were wasting your time with acting, but you've proven me wrong. I'm sorry.
Mom, don't leave me alone!
Don't worry, she was exhausted from work and prolonged stress. But fortunately, we got her to the hospital in time.
I spent my life running after money, and I didn't value the priceless gift life had given me.
I hugged Mom, and it felt amazing. The next day, I went to her office and found out Mom's business had been falling apart for months. But there was one company still buying her products that kept her from completely going bankrupt. Leo's. I decided to meet him and thank him personally. When I went to his office, my heart skipped a beat seeing how handsome he looked.
Elena, it's been a while. You're just as beautiful as ever.
I still feel that spark, something I haven't found with anyone else but Leo. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for helping with my mom's business. But I'm curious, why did you do it? Especially after humiliating me in front of everyone at the birthday party 5 years ago?
Actually, I overheard the conversation between you and your mom at the party, where she asked you to date me. I really love you, but I thought you were just playing a part. I was heartbroken, feeling like the only girl I'd truly loved was messing with my feelings. After all, Daisy told me everything, but it was too late. You had already left. It was all my fault, my selfishness. Maybe it would have been better if I'd just been a rock.
You loved me still, do? Suddenly my heart started racing like never before. Then how about we start all over again?
Done deal. But first I want to do something I've been dying to do since you walked in that door.
Leo leaned closer, and just when I thought he'd kiss me, he pulled off my scrunchie and we both started laughing.